We're only 2 days away from the next big update for Lord of the Rings Online. Gondor Renewed is update 36. It arrives on Wednesday, May 31st. And in this video, I'm gonna do sort of a preview video where I give you a quick breakdown of the major things that are coming with this patch. When you first log into the game, when the update goes live, you will get a mail in your inbox from Glyndor, Herald of the King. He summons you to Minas Tirith Midsummer and wants you to speak with him outside the stables and bring you to King Elessar for an important meeting. Now on beta, you were unable to talk to Glyndor, he actually had no quest, but I believe that is because this leads into the brand new storyline. A brand new story called The Song of Waves and Wind will debut with this update. Basically, this is a Black Book of Mordor type storyline, and it reads in the notes, a new story debuts with Gondor Renewed called The Song of Waves and Wind, for characters level 140. Start the first chapter by speaking to Glyndor in Minas Tirith, like we saw in the mail in Midsummer. This new story is available to anyone who is VIP, or purchases the Gondor Renewed quest pack, or who purchases quest packs associated with the story that are released in the future. So to get this storyline, you either have to be VIP, or you have to purchase the new quest pack with update 36, which is Gondor Renewed, or if you purchase a quest pack in the future that is associated with this story, you will automatically get the Gondor Renewed part of this new epic story. So if you look at the live game currently, the way Minas Tirith works is we have 3 different parts of Minas Tirith. I'm currently in like what you can call the normal Minas Tirith. Then you have the Midsummer and the after battle Minas Tirith. So in order to get to Midsummer, it's quite simple. You can just take a stable master and travel to Midsummer. That way you can start the new epic story. But since the new King's Gondor is going to start in after battle Minas Tirith, it's a bit trickier to get to. I hope they make an easier way to get it, maybe connected to the stable masters. But currently there are like 2 ways you can get there. Of course, you could always do the mithril coin, where you open the stable master map and you click on this one at the bottom right here. That's after battle Minas Tirith. But of course that costs you 2 mithril coins. But instead, if you have done enough on the epic stories, you should have these horses that you can click on. If you've done the epic stories around Minas Tirith, you should be fine. You can simply click on to Minas Tirith after battle. And that will take you directly to the after battle Minas Tirith. The other way, at least that I know of, can think of, is that you can go to Udun Foothold. And once you get to Udun, you can then take the stable master. So basically the route you're going to take is from Udun. You're going to go to the Slag Hills, north of Mordor. Then you're going to go to the Camp of the Host. And from the Camp of the Host, you can swift travel to Minas Tirith after battle. I'm just going to do that right now. First, I'll go to Slag Hills. And from the Slag Hills, you go to the Camp of the Host. And when you arrive in the Camp of the Host, you then get the option to travel to Minas Tirith, and this is going to be the Minas Tirith after battle. As we can see, I arrived in Minas Tirith after battle. You can see the gate's been shattered, but that's another way that you can get to after battle. Of course, I'm hoping they make a simple port from Midsummer. Maybe if you follow that epic story, the new epic story, The Song of Winds and Waves, you'll be able to get here in an easier way. At least that's what I'm hoping. But you can do the slow travel that I just did from Udun through Slag Hills, Camp of the Host, and then to Minas Tirith. Or you can take the horse if you have enough progression on your epic storylines. But hopefully there's another way added that you can enter Minas Tirith after battle. So, once you arrive in Minas Tirith after battle, how do you get to King's Gondor? As soon as you get to after battle, you then just head south from Minas Tirith. Basically follow this path, you can see my mouse, and you follow this path, this road that leads south, until you get to Harlond in the southwest. Now on the live game, you are currently unable to cross the gates here, everything is locked, but with the new update there's going to be an opening, you can pass through and enter to the new zone, King's Gondor. I have some screenshots that I'm going to look at. So like I showed you, you head south. You can see my character at the bottom left. This is the entrance to King's Gondor. And of course, this is a brand new map, King's Gondor. As you can see, we only get the eastern parts of King's Gondor for now, and the western part is kind of cloaked in shadow. Can't really go there yet. So the King's Gondor we get for now is going to include Lothernok, Upper Lebanon, and Lower Lebanon. And I have screenshots from beta and also from live, so I'm going to look at the different zones and see if we notice any differences. First up, we have the live screenshot of Lothernok. This is currently live. Let's see if we notice any differences as soon as I go to the new King's Gondor. I know Harland is going to change. It's going to be a bit repaired, so we can focus on Harland at first. And as you can see, this is more now kind of like a town. And I kind of want to go back and forth to see if I notice any differences. The map kind of changes, gets a bit bigger. You see a bit more. Imlith Meloy seems fixed up a bit. Arnok kind of seems the same. I noticed that the trees in the south kind of turn white. It's interesting. But this is a new King's Gondor Lothernok map. So in the notes it said that there's going to be places that we can go that we couldn't before. So at least in some places you should be able to get to new areas that you couldn't before. This is Lothernok, the new King's Gondor. Let's move on to Upper Lebanon. This is the live Upper Lebanon. And if we take a quick look to see if we notice any differences with the new Upper Lebanon. I'm going to keep focus on the southeast. Seems like the southeast turns into a little town. It's fixed up a bit. Clearly Aragorn is doing good work, taking back the lands from the evil. This is a new town. I can't see the name. It's Halleck or something maybe. Tumladen also looks more fixed up, more like city-like. It's going to be interesting to go look, see how it looks. Clearly the walls look a bit nicer. They're kind of like shattered here in the previous Gondor. And what's this town called? Gladok, I think. Something Gladok. Looks kind of the same. But this is Upper Lebanon, King's Gondor. And then we can move on west to Lebanon. This is a live Lebanon before the King's Gondor. Just take a look here. New Lower Lebanon. See that we have a couple of new towns. So we can go really far north here. Stablemaster all the way north. Some sort of settlement up in the north. Tsar Sadrad. It's like a little encampment now. Arios something has been taken back. I guess this was already a town of good, but I probably had a fix-up or something. These ruins in the middle seem to still be ruins, and we still have the other towns. Don't really notice any major differences here. In any case, it's going to be interesting to look at the King's Gondor and see all the new changes. We also have a screenshot of Pelargir. This is live before King's Gondor. And one thing I noticed about Pelargir, King's Gondor, there's a path to this big statue in the middle. Other than that, I think it looks pretty similar as to live. But you can see on the live Pelargir, there's no bridge here that you can cross, I believe. At least on the map, there's a bridge. But in any case, this is the new King's Gondor, and I believe when we talk to Aragorn in Midsummer, he will ask us to go through King's Gondor and we follow the Song of Winds and Waves storyline that will take us through all the new quests in this zone. And also the epic story will probably take us all the way left to Linhir, which is where the gates will be closed. And that's the furthest west we can go in Gondor for now. But in any case, new quests, new epic storyline, and new areas to explore in Eastern King's Gondor. I feel like in the future we're going to get Western King's Gondor, and my theory has always been we're going to get Western King's Gondor quests through here, follow the story here, and maybe from Dol Amroth we take the ships and we sail to Umbar for the big expansion. At least that's my theory for the future update. But that's the biggest part of this update, the new areas, new quests, and a new epic storyline. With this update, we also have the landscape difficulty coming to the live servers. And the footage you see on the screen here is footage from my beta reports, where I went and took a look at the landscape difficulty. So what is landscape difficulty? Every new zone should have the hardened traveler, the NPC that you see here. If you talk to him, he has 9 different options where you can increase the difficulty of your landscape experience or more of a challenge if you wish to do so. Now the question is, why would you do this? Obviously, one reason would be just for a challenge, for landscape to be harder and more challenging. But of course, there are other rewards you can gain from this. There's a new faction added for this system, the Pass of Valor. And basically, if you pick difficulty 3 or higher, you can then have a chance of tokens dropping for you, which can increase your rep and get rewards from this faction. There are unique deeds that you can earn depending on your class and depending on the difficulty that you get. And these deeds require to get to level 50 or get to level 130 with this difficulty set on, and you can never turn it off if you want these deeds. So these are the deeds available to you as your class that you can get. And of course, other than deeds, there will be some other rewards you can get from this barter guy. As you can see on the top right here, there's an elixir of valor you can get. I believe there's morale and power pots. And for this first batch and the first part of this update, we're getting a bunch of new emotes, some that I take a look at here, the epic emotes. You can see some of them at the top here. For example, the epic hero pose, kind of get a shine. All these emotes already exist in the game, but they have something epic added to them, like the coin flip. The coin is more shiny. There's some nice purple effects to the roar, etc, etc. So a lot of these will have new cool effects. You can earn these emotes by doing this system and earning tokens that you can barter for to get these rewards. So the difficulty system has unique titles if you activate this system before level 11, or of course for anyone who just gets the coins by playing this difficulty, you can get some nice emotes and also some other rewards. Also, with this update, we're getting more Delvings, the first 6 months ever for Delvings, the Great Barrow Cluster with the Mace, Thadur, and Sambrog, and the Anuminous Cluster with Ghynghyn, Houdvalendale, and Ost-Elendil will all be available to play with the Delving difficulty system added to them. So you can now play Delvings as a 6-man. There's also going to be some changes to how Delving rewards work. The crafting resource boxes that you often get as a reward from Delvings can now be disenchanted into 20 writs if you don't want the crafting materials. And the rewards for Delvings will also change a little bit. Tier 1 through 3 will now give 10 writs on completion. Tier 4 through 6 will give 20 writs. Tier 7 through 9 will give 30 writs. And Tier 10 through 12 will give 40 writs. I know that currently you get 50 writs on Tier 10 through 12, but making the crafting boxes disenchantable for 20 writs keeps everything at the same as before, or even a slight increase for the players. Delving armor will also be disenchantable for more writs. The yellow armor will be 10 writs, purple will be 20, teal will be worth 30 writs. And when it comes to reward from the Delving reward vendor, they're adding 2 new cosmetic pets and Tier 1 and Tier 2 essence boxes. So both purple essence boxes should be available from the Delving reward vendor, as well as morale and power pots. And finally, just a quick mention of some PvMP changes. There's going to be some adjustments to the infamy and renown gains. It's not going to be as beneficial to running in raids as it used to be. If you're high rank and you're killing a lower rank, you're going to get less than before. If you're a higher rank, you should try to look to kill higher ranks as well. There's going to be some new power pots and morale pots in the moors. And of course, on Wednesday, we also get Tier 4 of Gwath T4. So a lot happening with this patch. I'm definitely looking forward to the first landscape zone for level 140 all the way since Gondor&The. It's been quite a while. So new landscape, new quests, new epic story, and tier 4 of the raid. So Wednesday is going to be a good day for Lord of the Rings Online. Hey! Hey you! Yeah you! What do you want? You enjoy my content and you want to support me? Fine, I'll show you how you can do it. I would really appreciate if you like the video and subscribe to my channel. You can also support me through my Ko-fi homepage. If you're playing or looking to play Lord of the Rings Online, there is one place you need to be. The Ghyniverse is a Discord server created for the community of the players of Lord of the Rings Online. The server is getting close to 7,000 members, and in this server you'll find tons of helpful information. There's monthly giveaways, easy access to patch notes, you can keep up with my YouTube videos, my streams. If you're a streamer, you can ask for the streamer role and you can announce your streams in the other stream channel. There are discussion channels for pretty much everything, every class, monster players. But the best thing about this server is probably the Gearing Resources tab, where you can find anything from trait lines for every class, every build. There are stat goals, where you can find out what stats you should aim for on your characters. Really helpful information about drop rates from instances, as well as screenshot from all the new loot that appears in the game. If you enjoy LOTRO, you should definitely consider joining this server, and hopefully I'll see you in Middle Earth. If you were part of the Ghyniverse already, you might have noticed that another tab appeared at the top, the LFF server. This server is a brand new server that I created, the LFF Ghyniverse. In this server you can select which servers you want to keep up with, and once you select your server, say you select Arkenstone, you will see the LFF, the kinship advertisement, looking for kinship and trade channels, and there's also voice channels if people want to use those. The LFF channel is basically a looking for fellowship channel where people can post if they need players for the runs, and this way people don't have to be logged into the game to see the chat. They can just instead get a notification on their Discord. There's also a kinship advertisement page where kins can post their kinship advertisement and have people join their kins, and you can also post in the looking for kinship chat if you're looking for a kinship, but make sure to take a look in the kinship advertisement first and look through all the kin to find a suitable kin for you. There's also a trade channel if people want to buy or sell stuff that you can use. Hopefully you'll consider joining this server to bring the community even more together, not just in the game, but also outside of the game.